Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. So, this topic may not be of interest for most of you, but I do feel obliged to actually creating this video so that I don't have to repeat myself in the future, inshallah. So, the other day I read a couple of articles and even watched a YouTube video by some people who claim or who say things about my work. They said that this Joseph guy is a hypocrite. Why? Because he says that the word Salah comes from the root Salawah, when in fact it should be from Salaya. Okay? And I would like to respond to this, and I'm going to do it here because I don't want to do it again. The first thing, okay, I already made a video titled Finding the Root of the Word Salah, okay, because I knew that this is at some point or another it's going to happen. People will be questioning, how are you finding the root? In that video, I talked about a very basic way of finding practically any root. You simply take the masculine singular past tense verb of a word, and that is the root. However, it's not as simple when it comes to words that contain vowel letters. Vowel letters in the case of like the word Salah. Salah ends with a vowel letter. And this becomes a point of discrepancy, okay? And that's why in that video I said that some lexicons place the word Salah under Sa-la-wa. Others will place it under Sa-la-ya. Okay, and these are legitimate discrepancies. Okay, because the vowel letter can be interchangeable at some points or another when it comes to the formation of the term. However, in that video, I did contend that the word Salah does come from the root Salawah. Okay, and I gave a couple of examples why. In this video, I'm going to elaborate on that, okay? Just so to lay this whole thing to rest, inshallah. Now, the first thing I want to point out is that if you open at least the dictionaries that I access, the root dictionaries for the Quran that I access, they do show that there are two different words that with two different roots that are used in the Quran. You have Salawah, which is for Salah, and you have Salaya, which is Saliyah, used in the Quran. Salah and Saliyah. So we can see how at some point or another, depending on formation, depending on prefixes and suffixes, depending on tenses, these two words may overlap at some point by sound, just because they're very closely sounding related. Okay, so Salah and Saliyah. Okay, but they are still two different, independent, separate words. Salah comes from the root Salawah. Saliyah comes from the root Salaya. Okay, so one way to know that Salah comes from the root Sa-la-wa is to simply pluralize the noun. Okay, the noun Salah, if you pluralize it, it will expose the root of the vowel letter of that root. The plural for Salah is Salawat. Salawat with a waw. This indicates that the root is actually with a waw. It doesn't say Salayat, Salawat. And this is part of the reason why, if you look in the Quranic text, you will see that Salah is actually written with a waw. Okay? It's written with a waw because perhaps the Arabs at that time knew that some Arabs today, okay, will get confused. They won't know that where this root comes from. But it's written right there in our faces with a waw, Salah. Okay? So again, that's one very basic way of finding whether the word ends with a waw or a ya is to simply pluralize the noun. Okay, like take the word sama, for example. Sama, which means sky. Naturally, I would think that sama comes from the root sama'a, okay, or sama. But if you pluralize the word sama, which is samawat, I will know that the root is actually samawa with a waw. Okay, so that's one way we can find the root of the word salah. Okay, now the confusion occurs with the word saliyah that's used in the Quran, which has the root salaya. Okay, now in order for us, for example, to know that salah and saliyah are not one and the same, is we just simply test the different tenses that are used for both of these words. For example, let's look at the imperative verb of the word salah and saliyah. The imperative the imperative verb for salah is salli, whereas the imperative verb for saliyah is asli. You see that? Salli, asli. Okay, so that they're two different words. The imperative verbs for both of these are two different. If they were the same, then they would have the same imperative verb, but they do not. Also, when it comes to salah, we never see salah in any of its forms having the object pronouns. Okay, object pronouns. We only see possession pronouns like salati, my salah, salatuka, your salah. Okay, that's for salah. But with saliyah, we only see object pronouns. Salluhu. Okay, sallu it or sallu him. Okay, so there's a stark difference between these two. Okay, for some people they'll say, they sound the same. No, they're not the same. Okay, so these are very basic methods and examples to show that salah has its own root structure, salawa, whereas saliyah has also its own unique root structure, which is salaya. So I hope at least this will be somewhat of a catalyst for some of these individuals who go about and start talking about other Quran researchers and how they start labeling them hypocrites and liar and whatnot and all these things. Look, you can do that. You can label people. That's not a problem. But it really demonstrates what type of person these individuals are. Unfortunately, if I don't agree with someone's understanding, especially if I know that this person is also in the same boat as I, striving to learn from God's words, Quran alone, and so forth, then we're in the same boat. There's no reason to start labeling people and making assumptions about them. I'm not out here to try to lie to people. I'm not out here to do anything, really. I'm just sharing my understanding. Now, if somebody can provide for us solid evidence that salah comes from sad lam ya, absolutely, we'll check it out, no problem. But as far as I can see, based off of the Quranic Arabic, the Arabic language, even the lexicons, even the way it is written in the Quran, okay, all these different methods indicate and point to the fact that the word salah comes from the root sa la wa and not sa la ya. Wassalamu alaikum.